In this video, I'm going to model the ditch intersection for a trapezoidal shaped ditch. I already have the horizontal alignment set up as well as the profile for my side ditch. The next step is to place a civil cell to create a corridor model for the initial side ditch. So I'll go up to Civil Cells, which is under the Model Detailing tab, and place Civil Cell. In the Tool Settings dialog, I want to go to the ellipsis button to select the civil cell. At this time, there's only one civil cell available, and it's called Ditch Intersection. So select that and say OK. Follow the prompts. The first prompt is to select the side ditch center line. So I'll select my horizontal alignment. The next prompt is to select the main ditch bottom of bank line. So I'll select that. It's going to give me a preview. And that looks good. The arrow's pointing in the right direction. I've got a transverse line here near the intersection. So that is correct. So I can reset to skip and then data point to accept civil cell placement. So as you can see, the corridor model has been created. The next step is to drop the civil cell because that will make the corridor model easier to work with. So I'll go up to Civil Cells, select Drop Civil Cell, and then select the corridor handle. Now I want to change my corridor model for this is now a simple grass ditch. I want to make this a ditch that's lined with PSRM. So I'll go to the template graphic, select that, and from the flyout menu, go to Properties, and then change the template. Go to Drainage Ditches, Head Tail Ditches, and Trapezoidal PSRM. And now the 3D model is updated. Another change that I want to make to this corridor model, it's currently a 4-foot wide bottom width. I want to change it to a 2-foot wide bottom width. I'll do that through a parametric constraint. I'll select the corridor handle, go to Create Parametric Constraint, select the correct parametric constraint, which is bottom width, and then change the values from 4 feet to 2 feet. Then data point to accept the inputs. Now it's been changed to a bottom width of 2 feet. Now, the corridor model that comes from the civil cell includes point controls that will ensure that the bottom width, the bottom of the side ditch is warped so that it meets properly with the bottom of the main ditch. And these point controls need to be updated if you change the bottom width. To do that is very simple. Just select those point control lines and you'll see the text manipulators that come up. They're set to an offset of 2 feet from either side of the center line. We need to change this to a 1-foot offset. So I'll change the 2 to a 1. Do the same for the other side. That's a left offset, so it needs to be changed from a -2 to a -1. And now that change is complete. To complete this intersection and clean it up, I'm going to use a combination of techniques: corridor clipping as well as target aliasing. Before I do that, however, I need to increase the density of the template drops for the side ditch in this area to increase the precision. So I'm going to do that by adding a template drop to the corridor. I'll go to my corridor creation tools and then create template drop. And I'll follow my prompts here. The first prompt is to select a template. So I'll press my Alt down arrow key to bring up the pick template. I'm going to select the same one as I did before. Data point to accept that. And now I need to identify the start and end of my new template drop. And I'm going to start, I just need to add this precision to the area of the intersection. So I'm going to start it about here, and then press the Alt key to lock it to the end. And I want to change the interval from 1 foot to 0.1 foot. And you can see I have much greater density of template drops now. Now I'm ready to begin my corridor clipping. I'm going to turn off my graphics to clean the view up a little bit. The first thing that I want to clip out is this small portion of the bottom of the side ditch that projects into the channel. So I'm going to change my feature definition to a construction level, and then go to geometry, complex geometry, complex by PI. I'm going to make sure my snap mode is an intersection snap. And I'm just going to draw a simple shape here. I'm going to snap to the intersection of the two bottom of bank lines. Come out here at about a 45-degree angle. Come back to the other intersection of the bottom of bank lines, and then complete the shape. And confirm that I have my snap indicators there. The next clipping shape to be created will be for the portion of the main ditch that needs to be clipped out. So go back up to complex geometry, complex by PI, still using intersection snap mode. Snap to the intersection of the top of bank lines, the intersection of the bottom of bank lines, and then back up to the intersection of the top of bank lines, put in a random point, and then close the shape. Now notice that I've assumed a straight line as the intersection point between the two ditches. But because this side ditch has variable side slopes, the slope of the lining is not the same as the slope of the grass. The grass cut slope is at 2-to-1, the lining is at 4-to-1. And as a result, at the intersection point, you see I have a break there. It's not a straight line. There's an angle point. And I need to find that angle point so I can modify my clipping shape to make it accurate. And I'm going to do that using a technique called target aliasing. So I'll go to corridors and up to define target aliasing. The prompt is to locate the corridor. So the corridor I'm interested in is the side ditch. I need to turn my levels back on, and then I can select that. By default, the templates in the corridors are seeking the existing terrain, but I want to add to that target. So I want to choose my terrain, but I also want to add the main ditch corridor as a target. And then check use closest, and then apply. And then close. And you can see that the view is now updated, and the main ditch has been used to clip the side ditch. Now that I've done that, I now have lines in my plan view indicating the location of where that break point occurs between the two slopes. Now I can modify my clipping shape as I need to. Turn off my persist snaps temporarily. I'm going to use the microstation tool, insert vertex, to make the modifications to my clipping shape. And I'll just zoom in here and just put this at the point where these two lines intersect. I'm going to turn my persist snaps back on. Now I can add the clipping references to the corridors. Go up to corridor clipping, add clipping reference. First, I'll go to my side ditch and select this clipping reference to clip out this small portion of the bottom. Reset to complete. Next, Go back up to Add Clipping Reference, select the main ditch, and then select this clipping reference. And now the cleanup has been completed. Let's take a closer look at this. You can use the rotate view tool, make sure that you move your X and snap. Now there's a clean intersection. I'd also like to take a look at the contours. So I'm going to copy the settings to a new window. Go up to here, copy view, put that view here, and then turn off and on some different levels. I'm going to turn off all the levels except the contours. And I can see what this looks like from contouring.